Okay, we are back at it. Next chapter we're going to work on is oddly an appendix to our textbook. It always surprised me that it's appendix. I really think it needs to be like chapter 1, either the first chapter we do or like chapter 18, like the last chapter we do. But the chapter we're going to work on this week is actually personal finance. And even though it's an appendix for our book, it is one of the most important chapters that we're going to cover. We talked a little bit about through this journey how a lot of what we are learning in Business 10 is going to reflect on your personal experience, not just your business, like your personal life. And this chapter is the embodiment of that. So this chapter, I really want you to be really thoughtful with your discussion board question and internalize the material as we make it through the lecture. It is really important that you get this concept. So the average American cannot pass a financial literacy test. I would be honest with you, I took it and I didn't pass either. And I have some knowledge in this area. So that tells me that there's always something that I can learn. And even though I have some sound personal financial practices now, I had a lot of missteps in the past. So personal finance is just something that we don't teach people, but you're gonna learn it this semester, this chapter. Okay, all right. So what we're gonna talk about in this chapter is we're just gonna talk about the steps to having some financial accountability for yourself, how to create and stick to a budget. How to use credit wisely, and we'll dive a little bit into personal wealth building. But the most important piece is you can't build wealth if you don't have a budget that you stick to and you don't use or manage your credit wisely. So those are the two main things that we're going to talk about for this chapter. And I really hope that you, if you don't get anything out of this class, that you have some mastery on this chapter. Okay. All right. So you know what to do. Dive on in. Oh, before before I close out this video, the last day for you to register to vote in the November election for the state of California is October 22nd. So I highly encourage you to participate in your civic duty. One of the basis of our democracy is that we all have the ability to vote. So I highly encourage you to register to vote by October 22nd. Okay, you can go into the post office. They have voter registration forms. I actually have some in my office. You can always come knock on BE 142. I keep a couple copies. I won't take it. I'll just give it to you. But I highly encourage you to do your civic duty and vote this November. And you have until October 22nd to register to vote. And even if you've already registered to vote, keep in mind that you have to be registered where you currently live. So if you don't live where you lived the last time you voted, you need to re-register. So keep that in mind too, okay? All right, with all that said, dive in. You know the routine. We're going to end this week off a little bit different, this chapter off a little bit different than we normally do. So dive into the work, and I will see you soon.